Okay, so this is a movie called Afraid. It's four friends, well, five friends, four black ones and one white one, going to on a vacation, and yeah, serial killer or whatever, regular horror movie stuff, and yeah. So the movie starts off with a white woman getting hit by a car, and then she ends up in a hospital. Then she ends up telling us the backstory of everything that happened. So we get teleported into her house, and she's kind of disrespecting her mom a little bit, in my opinion. Talking about, hey, Linda, where the food at? Whatever, mocking her dad, basically. Her dad right there. And he's basically abusive. And a few seconds later, a little bit into the movie, they get into a fight because he's an asshole. The daughters had to go in their room. The daughter, the big sister, tried to help. I forgot what her name was. Tried to help, but she just got hit back. Don't know why. She just didn't grab a knife. I'm pretty sure there's knives. Got the police called. Now he's gone. Whatever. Now we cut to Jamal and his friend. Jamal is the one on the right with the shorter one. And I don't remember the other guy's name. But they end up talking about what they're gonna do this weekend or whatever the heck. Then both of their girlfriends come from the stairwell, and they basically said that they're prepared for going to the cabin on the weekend. Then the girl from earlier comes into the school with the scar on her face. They talking about dang and whatever, and asking what happened. And she told them what happened. Yada yada yada. Then. And then this dude come out of nowhere. They basically view him as disgusting. I don't know why, but he's kind of a nerd. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? He's not really important to the story. You never see him again after this, but we move on. Then we see this guy visualizing war, I guess, or whatever. It's really not important. Basically his sergeant or whatever is just seeing him off or whatever. And whatever, I don't know. But he's not important either, so we move on. Also cut to him in the truck, talking about finna get drinks or whatever, and that's where our next scene goes to. So we cut to them trying to meeting up with their friend Frankie, and Jamal, the one on the left over there, doesn't like him because I guess something in the past happened in the past. So they basically just want Frankie to go in the store or whatever, get them some drinks, because I guess they're underage. Yeah. Now they come over here, pick up the white chicken, his girlfriend. Obviously, they gonna try and be some thoughts over here. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. Was that really necessary? Now they went to Jamal's girlfriend's house to go pick her up. And the dad, well, he isn't really that happy about it because, you know what I'm saying? If something happened to his daughter, Jamal gonna get that bad upside his head. I don't really blame him, though, because something happened to my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the same way. Now we move over to the white girl's house. She just went there to get her things. And obviously her sister is sad about this because, she thinks she's going to be gone for, forever. But she just reassures her that, she's not. And they do this little handshake and they move on. Now we skip over to them riding in the car getting pulled over now. And obviously they think that the police were just racist. And honestly, I would kind of think that too. But I mean, the officer did make a good point saying that it's dark. I mean, how would they know if you were black? We also see this cop pull Jamal out of the car and shoot him. But this was just a dream sequence of his. So, we move on. And as we move on, we see this cop looking a little sus. Keep that in mind, all right, guys? Keep that in mind. Now, as they get to this gas station, we see these people. They look a little, suspicious, but, they think about it, but, they don't think they dangerous or nothing. But when they in the store, Jamal gets cornered by this white guy, and, they be racist and all that. They them rednecks, you know what I'm saying? So obviously they pull a knife on him, they run out, and then they start to drive off. Well, after they block, the white guys start blocking their car though. Alright, so after they drive off, they get into a little car, they get into a little conversation. And basically he was talking about like he got a gun, you know what I'm saying? He basically would have dealt with them or whatever. But we're gonna talk about that later though, you know what I'm saying? And they also talk about turning back, which I would have already done. But this dummy, the one driving the car, over here talking about like they've already driven this far and yada yada yada. Even though they're black, They should have been gone, bro. They should have been gone. I'm black too. I would have never even been there. That's too far in the woods. But you know, whatever. We move on. Then we see that something happened to their tire. I don't know what it was. Then this random guy just pull up in a van behind him and then just start walking slowly to him. I don't know why none of his friends warned him of it, but whatever, we move on. And he was acting pretty strange, but he did help them, so. But we will see him like one other time. He's not really that important to the story, but whatever. Alright, so finally they made it to the crib. The dude that was driving, that's his like father's or mother. They bought it or something. I don't know, but for some reason they were just standing out there. Like it's a storm out there. Why are y'all just standing there? But anyway, they get into the house. They were talking a little dirty. You know what I'm saying? Well, that type of dirty. Anyway, he has to go outside, get the drinks. He was acting a little scary because middle of the woods, dark, storming. Then he hears this wolf. It was a wolf, guys. It was a wolf. And he over here talking about, he over here talking about it was a saber tooth. Like, bro, it's not a saber tooth. And they were all clowning him for it. Anyway, we go cut over to here. She's over here complaining about there only being beer. She's tired of it. She goes in the kitchen trying to look for something. And the dude him goes and mind you, he has a girlfriend and he actually liked that. And later on, this will come back for you, foreshadowing. His girlfriend did not like that shit. She did not like that, bro. Anyway, Jamal went and got some liquor from the car. I don't know why the heck didn't they just bring it in the first time, but whatever. I was not in this movie, so they played a game of whatever the heck it was. Basically, you got to write some stuff in the what are you afraid of, and then like you gotta either do what it says, or like if you're afraid of going out in the dark, outside basically, you would have to either go outside or drink some liquor, drink a shot. That's basically what it was. And the driver, had to go outside, you know what I'm saying? And he was scared. The lights went out, and he ran back inside like a little bitch. No, I'm kidding. Not a little bitch. It was realistic. He was gonna repair the lights or whatever. Then Jamal was like, "Yeah, go do it," or whatever. Then the girls had forced him to go with them, and then they repaired it. Then the lights went back off. Then I guess they repaired it again or whatever. Never mind, guys. I'm just stupid. I literally had the whole movie on here, and I still said that I'm stupid. I guess I remember something else. But anyway, they were all scared and whatever, and they heard this noise, ran out of the house, and then they went back inside, and they grabbed a flashlight, went upstairs, and then it was the window. And obviously, it wasn't just a window by itself. It was somebody, but that was never focused on later on in the movie, so I guess not. Then some noise came from downstairs. They went to the door, all scary and whatever. It's literally several of y'all. Y'all could just grab knives from the kitchen, bro. Come on now. Just do that. But it was just a guy from earlier. I forgot what his name was. Don't feel like going back and checking. Even though I just got unmuted, but whatever. I really forgot what he wanted. I really don't know what he wanted or what he was there for. Oh, right. It was for that bolt. He had forgot to put one bolt in there. And, and for some reason, I mean, they asked him how he figured out where they were, and basically once he sees someone or whatever, he will always know how to find them, which is very creepy. So you basically can't even run away from this nigga. Like, no, kill this nigga, bro. But anyway, we move on. Now we cut over to them having breakfast or whatever. Terrence or guys, it was Jamal. Jamal and his girlfriend, they a little horny, so they went to the bathroom, taking a shower, you know what I'm saying, together, you know what I'm saying. Then the white girl was over here talking about the lake, brought up the lake, and talking about going skinny dipping, and then his girlfriend was worried about, talking about like, why you worried about it, and then she was like, well, I wouldn't go skinny dipping, and then all of them went skinny dipping, and obviously she's a little jealous, so Mwah. And so we transition into the woods, and then they see, look at this. Hold on, it's coming, guys. Right there, yeah. And yeah, they think it's disgusting. I do too, and they kind of think nothing of it, which is stupid. But we move on. So we move into them, playing in the water. They was whatchamacallit was getting a little freaky in the water. Whatever, she was obviously a little, jealous of that still. So she decided to go into the woods by herself, not telling anybody. What type of dumb stuff is that, bro? Then she ended up getting lost. Are you serious right now? We transitioned to Jamal and his girl having a little conversation, basically about her changing her mind, like about him going to war. But guess what, bro? She was talking about how if he went to war, she would get with somebody else, bro. Oh my God, she would easily get with somebody else. That was diabolical. I ain't gonna lie. I would have left her after that. Like, what do you mean you would easily get with somebody else? No, no. I feel bad for Jamal on that part, but whatever. But he did decide not to go to war, I think. I don't feel like checking it, but whatever. So the white girl and the dude came back looking a little too giddy, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, his girlfriend got on his ass about that. And anyway, he was finna ask Jamal for some help to bait his fish. Put a fish on his hook or whatever. Then she was over here like, I got this. And then, she girl boss stuff. And then, he was talking about, he don't know if the long distance relationship will work or whatever. And then she was like, talking about, what do you mean long distance? And she was talking about how if she's not going, that his meat gonna stay, and that means she gonna chop it off and keep it with her, even though his meat wouldn't stay hard, so it'll be pretty pointless. You know what I'm saying?
Stay attached forever.
But so he was like, yeah, you're going. So whatever. We move on. So we move on to the night, and they, just cooking some fish or whatever. They talking about some horror or whatever. Oh, the lake was with John Voorhees or whatever, Jason Voorhees. That's the lake that they were at, Crystal Lake. Yeah, that's what it was. Sorry, y'all. It took me a while to remember that. And yeah, they hear a noise, and then they just, left. And then they talking about some cooking the rest in the oven or whatever. So, which was pretty a black move to do. So, yeah, we move on. Now they're in the house, and they finna play a game called Don't Lie. And then she's like, how long have you had a crush, basically, on her boyfriend? Yeah, valid reaction. Finna get into that. And basically, they get into this little argument. And, yeah. Now she's mad in the car. They're talking, you know what I'm saying? And, basically, they had this little argument. They just have an argument. And I guess he tried to make it up by by having, sex on a freaking tree. Yeah, on a tree, bro. Come on now. Bro. And also, that's kind of nasty to suck, his dick first and then, start kissing. Like, doesn't that taste like your own dick or something? Like, that's pretty disgusting. Also, she was acting a little weird in this scene. I guess she was just like feeling herself, you know what I'm saying? So, I guess I'll just let it slide though. Also, dude gets freaking killed with an arrow through his head, bro. I don't know how didn't he get killed. She get killed, but whatever. She screams into the house, and yeah. For some reason, these two were just chilling and didn't hear it before the white girl did. I don't know. I guess they don't have that good of hearing. They try to calm her down or whatever, and yeah, they start panicking basically. And Jamal is the only one who was smart enough to grab a knife. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not the only knife in there. So, yeah, it doesn't even look very sharp though. But hey, a knife is a knife, whatever. And also, for some reason, he just decided to go outside. I don't know why, but whatever. But eventually, they decided to go to the car. And also, for some reason, they didn't have phone service. I wouldn't go out there if I know I didn't have phone service. Like, come on now. But anyway, the car wasn't working, so they decided to all go on the count of three to go rush inside the house. Also, the killer has wolves. That's what they were chased by. So this dude, Jamal, decided to go out the house. Why exactly? To lure them away. Dude, the car doesn't work, mind you. It doesn't work. So I'm confused. Why do that? I mean, I'm not understanding. Then he did the goofiest stuff. Look at this. Anyway, the dude unsummons the dogs like Maharaga. Anyway, dude gets knocked out. Then his girlfriend stupidly decides to go after him, and she ends up in a trap, and she's doing all that screaming and hollering and dies. And later, he finds his girlfriend hanged. Then a little later, he gets back to the house. Well, he finds his girlfriend and gets her down, and then brings her to the house. The other girl, she ran for some reason, I forgot. She ran into a tree and got knocked out. Like, come on now. Then the house got set on fire. I guess they were trying to get them out or something, I guess. Then they try to save her, but instead of just jumping the guy, killing him, then setting the girl free, she watched her die. The white girl watched her die. Like, are we serious? You were that jealous and that mad that you're just gonna let her freaking die, bro? Come on now, that is sad. You're not a true friend for that, bro. You deserve to die. But anyway, they start running, and somehow this man that was knocked out somehow caught up to them. Are we serious? How slow were y'all running? Were y'all even running? Were y'all just walking casually? Then once the camera panned to y'all would just stop running or something? Like, what's going on now? But anyway, dude gets shot in the chest, bro. He ran forward and got shot in his chest, bro. Oh my god. Yo, he was, bro. That was sad, bro. But anyway, he dies. Somehow the shotgun just surprisingly just clicks out. Like, are we serious? No. Whatever, bro. We move on. And we're back to the movie where it all began. And she ends up in a hospital, and that's where we were. And yeah, she gets on the phone with her mother and daughter. I mean, not her daughter, and her mother and her sister, and just talk to her, whatever. And yeah, that's the end of the movie. And remember when I said, remember this cop? Well, yeah, this is the murderer right here. See, look at when he bends down and tie his shoe real quick. You see that mark on his hand? Yeah, that's the same one the killer had. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, he was the killer. No surprise. I already saw that when I first watched this movie. Like, man, that was so obvious. But whatever. I hope you guys had a nice day and show some real love to this channel. I hope y'all have a nice day or night or whatever. Thank y'all, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.